what to do, we'll train you. We'll teach you what to do. So every the last Thursday of the month, from 11 to 1, we do move around to our different locations because we want to promote our partners and our members as well. And we have lunch. We have a great lunch. And no sack lunches, no chips and ham and cheese sandwiches, One of the things that I really feel adamant about, those of us who wake up every day to go and serve someone else, sometimes everyone forgets to serve us. It's like your strong friend. You forget to ask your strong friend how they're doing. And so those of us every day who wake up to make sure other people are okay, at the coalition, we have to make sure that we're okay first. So I believe in a really good lunch to feed them, to say, if no one has bought you lunch this month, to say thank you, then I will.
Okay. And so if someone wants to find out about where that's going to be at or how to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with the coalition? So the best way and the fastest way is to go to our website, which is bcnct.org. And you can register on there. So it says register for a monthly meeting. You'll be on our mail list, and then you will get our emails. We don't send a whole bunch of stuff out to you, but we do notify you of our monthly meetings. We also have an online calendar, so you can check there. We have a Facebook, a LinkedIn, and something else. I'm not a social media person. Okay. Thank you so much to my female veteran intern, that handles all of that. But definitely go to our website and register so that we can start notifying you to attend the meetings. Okay, great. And now tell me about what prompted the for-profit company.
Well, what prompted the for-profit is my nonprofit. The coalition is my passion. I love it. I would do it for free. I have done it for free. And I would continue because my goal is, to serve on the coalition. But it's never going to make me financially free, and that was never the goal of it, is to give me financial freedom. And so I had to refocus for myself and say, how can I continue to do my passion, which I love, and then make income so that I can eat and my children can eat and we can survive, right?
Right.
And so I was just talking to some of my mentors, because mentoring is so very important. And they said, Nekima, you're doing great, but you need a for-profit. You need to do something that brings you steady income. So no matter what, your family is covered, and that's true. You can't let your passion and your nonprofit sink you. Yeah. So I know when we first met, you're from Seattle. I am.
So I thought that was cool because I went to the University of Washington.
Hey.
What's up? The Great Northwest. And you were doing a lunch up in Seattle with your nonprofit.
I did.
With your for-profit.
My for-profit. Yeah. So I'm so very excited. So my for-profit is called Life Incubator Mobile Paternity Testing. So we are mobile paternity testing. We will come out to you and we will do a DNA test. It takes us about 15 minutes. It's all confidential. So, the privacy of your own home, your office, wherever the case may be, we will come out, test you, whoever needs a DNA test. We are partners with LabCorp and some other international partners, so we can go anywhere. And so the beautiful thing about our business is that we can go anywhere that our partners are at. So I went to Seattle about 2 months ago to train a team up there, and they're ready to go. We're moving.
Oh, wow.
So it's exciting.
Okay.
It's very exciting.
So I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yes.
But I really want to get into the repo checks. And before we do that, I want to tell you this. So a lot of times when people see someone like you who are successful with your nonprofit, starting a for-profit business, they see this, you've arrived.
No.
But they see it from their perspective, right? But they don't see your journey.
Right.
They don't see the process of success. And also, one of our speakers, Rock T, says the road to success is always in the construction. So I know you have a lot of bigger goals and you're working on those. But I think Repo Chick came out of something. It came out of somewhere.
Yes.
So why don't you talk to me about what Repo Chick means?
So this is what I want people to know. Don't ever judge me by the chapter you meet me in, because there's so many pages that came before this chapter, this new chapter in my life. And so Repo Chick, that is my baby. And I'll give you a really quick where it started from. I went to school in Louisiana Tech, and my master's is from Grambling. But at that time, I was involved in a group called Love, Ladies of Envision and Enlightenment, through my church under the amazing Pastor Baldwin. And it was a mentoring program, and so I was a mentor. But I also was a Louisiana Pathway speaker, so I did a lot of speaking. My degrees and my background is mental health. Mm-hmm. And I've seen so many young women, but also those young women who grew up to be adult women, who had so many issues and insecurities and unhappy and were lost and felt like they had no hope. And it's so sad to see a young girl who has her whole life ahead of her with no hope.
How are you that young and you already don't have hope? And so as I was mentoring, I was praying for what my purpose was and what could I do to leave an impact on this world, on this community. And God gave me Repo Chicks. So let's get into it because you love it so much. Yeah. So I love it too. It started off strictly with mental health because that's where I think everything starts. With, you need mental health to do anything. And so Repo, R-E-P-O, what does that mean? So R is repossess. That's one of the things that I talk to the ladies about. Repossess. What do you feel that you have lost that you need to take back? So you need to take back your joy, take back your peace, take back your happiness, take back your body, take back your mind, whatever the case may be. I want you to repossess that, take that back, right? So that's what R stands for, repossess. E is excellence. No matter what it is that you do, work in excellence. And I think, that sometimes we get so bogged down. We're not working in excellence. We're not working on our full potential. Why? Because we're not really doing what we love to do. We're not. We're doing what we have to do to survive. And so you don't give 100% of it. So work in excellence. Even if it's not where you want to be, do it to the fullest of your capacity until you can get to where you want to be. So always work in excellence. Purpose, power, and position is P. So purpose. You have to seek and know your purpose. I can't tell you that, but I can help you go through some steps to help you find out what your purpose is. Powerful. My God, know how powerful you are. And we have a power in us, whether it's survival, whether it's instincts, no matter what it is, we are powerful. And I felt like a lot of the ladies that I work with felt powerless. But once I've worked with them, they found out how powerful they were. And then know your position. It's so important to know your position, where you're at, and how to make those moves. And then others, the one I love the most, the O is to help others. So you have to go and you have to help others. So CHICS, CHICS, which is changing helplessness and hopelessness into creativity and success. Because we have to start with our mind. We have to change our mind to start to think those things, to start to repo and all those, other beautiful acronyms I said. So changing that mindset to something positive. Helplessness and hopelessness, because that's what I heard a lot of our young ladies say, is that they felt that way. And then C, creativity into success. Okay. So be creative, and then take that creativeness and turn it into something successful.
So that, I'm all in. So where's the workbook now?
Oh, there he goes.
Where's the workshop? Have you done, what have you done with that?
Well, I did do a manual, and I created it a couple years ago, and it is a mental health, but it's really self-development workbook. And called Repo Chicks, and it literally walks you through activities and mantras to help you to get to these places that I'm talking to you about, to be your best self, right? And so one of the things I want to say was so funny is that my men were like, "I'm not no chick, I'm not a chick.
What about us?
What about us?" And so I had to really think about that, because I have a lot of men that I did talk to as well, and it's really refreshing when men open up to you, and sometimes men, we forget that men, as strong as you are, you get your moments too. You get down, you get discouraged, you're lost as well. And so I did. So I'm still working on it, but this is what I've been working on. So for my Repo Men, I got some Repo Men out there. Right, I know I got one right in front of me.
Thank you.
I have one right in front of me. So for Repo Men, MEN, right? So M is motivation, managing, maintaining. What does that mean? For my men out there, what motivates you? What motivates you to be your best self, your best man? When you get up in the morning and you look and you say, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm a king, whatever it is, what motivates you to do that? Is it your children? Is it, grandma, mom? What motivates you? And then managing it. Can you manage that? Can you manage that energy? Can you manage the things that you've set upon your shoulders, or what the world has set upon your shoulders? And how can we do that? And then can you maintain it? Can you maintain that motivation and manage what you're managing? Okay. So that's your M, right?
Right.
And then E. So for men, so your E. What is your E? Help me out. I can't even remember. Essential. That's how fresh it is. I'm still building on you, men.
Right.
I'm essential, but is it essential to who you are? And I think that is so important for all of us. But as men, who I consider, the head, right? The head of the household, the head. And is it essential to who you are as a man? That's so important. And then N, right?
Yeah.
So N is the last one, and it is necessary and nourishing. So as a man, is this necessary for your survival? Is it necessary for your well-being? Is it necessary for your mental health? And whatever that is, does it nourish you? Does it nourish your spirit? Does it nourish your heart, your mind, physical and mental? And that's what I found for my men. So the few men that I have talked to, or just the many conversations that I've had with my male colleagues and friends, I really thought about those conversations, and that's what I pulled out of it. And I'm still building on it, but one of the things that I want to remember is, our men need support too. Our men need nourishing and uplifting, and they need to be motivated, and they need to know, that they are covered as well. And so ladies, we have to remember we have some repo men out there, and I can't wait to meet you all.
So I want to ask you something personal.
Oh boy, let's go.
A lot of times, we come out and we have this level of success.
Sure.
So we have the people are looking at us,
okay,
and we give a message and we deliver the message, and we deliver a message from a place where we have arrived, and it's not from a place where we started.
Okay.
And a lot of times we're talking to people from there. So I want you to share with me, I know you talked a little bit about where it came from, Repo Chicks.
Yes.
But I want you to tell me something, maybe a personal story of you going through that process, or, I'm letting you choose which story you share.
Oh boy.
Right?
Okay.
But somewhere Repo Chick is you.
It is.
It's not helping others. It really was your journey.
It was.
Right?
It literally is my journey. So since you put me on blast.
Right.
So one of the things that I want to say to all of my entrepreneurs out there, whether you've started or you want to get started, yes, it is your journey. It starts with your journey. And so for me, my journey was very early on. I was a young mother. I was a young wife. And we so often lose ourselves in whatever chapter we are in. And so at the age of 19, I found myself in a new chapter, and then within 2 years, as 21, where most of my friends were turning up and doing this, I've always been very serious, very conservative, and so here I found myself as a wife and a mother, and very quickly a mother of 3 because those twins came very fast, and so and I was so enmeshed in trying to be the perfect wife and the perfect mother, but also the perfect student because I was still in school. I was trying to be the perfect everything, and that's what we do, right? And it's the same thing for my men. Now you have a family, you have responsibilities, and when have you ever been taught really what to do, right?
Exactly.
And so you can lose yourself, and it's overwhelming, and it can be very overwhelming. So for me, fast forward 15 years later, but in the process, because it wasn't at the end, but when I started to do Repo Chicks and where I was at, I learned that as much as I was giving to the young ladies and the women that I worked with, they were helping me just the same because I had to be real with myself. Mm-hmm. And one thing I want to tell you, there's never a place of I've arrived. Yeah. When I say, hey, Clifton, I've arrived, that's when you say, you are lying. And so for me, it was, really trying to understand and maintain who Nekima was in the midst of everything that I was building or trying to build at that time in that chapter in my life. What did that look like? At that time, it was trying to take back, Nekima. I was young. I was still trying to grow and find out who I was. And so I had to, take back some things outside of my marriage and outside of my motherhood and as a student. When I'm in 4 walls, am I okay with me? And so if I'm not okay with me, how can I mentor you and tell you, that you're going to be okay? We're going to sit there and both have a pity party. Right. So it was a matter for a healing for me as well.
Well, I'll just tell you that message, you're not alone, and I think your journey, Repo Checks, I want the Empower Series to do everything that we can to give you a platform to reach the people that you need to reach.
Well, thank you. I love it. I will say kudos to you. What you have been able to do with the Empower Series is just amazing. You're not the one per se getting up there in front of the speeches, but you are, the one that's bringing us all together. You are bringing a resource to people and a platform for those of us who want to share that is so needed in our community and communities across this country. So kudos to you for building such an amazing program, such an amazing business as an entrepreneur to empower others. as you empower yourself.
Well, I think we're all in the same boat because we all have ideas.
We do.
And one of the taglines of the Empower series is ideas in action.
Absolutely.
I also think that Empower series started as a financial literacy workshop, but it also has programs with empowerment and entrepreneurship and other factors. But the most important thing is that we all have ideas, and I believe that we're all called to be better stewards of our ideas.
Absolutely.
Like, what do we do with them? Do we nurture them? Do we bury them? And
Some of us.
Yes.
Yes.
Or do we really take those ideas and be transparent, be vulnerable, and just share? Because as Les Brown says, there's stories that we all have. Yeah. And at the end of our lives, we don't want to take those stories with us because those stories will touch and inspire and really save other people's lives.
That's the goal. That's the goal. My goal is to share and empty out everything that I've learned to other people. So while I'm building my businesses, my goal, of January was how can I start these and then let someone else run them. I love speaking. I love presenting. I hope that you guys like listening. I told at the Lunch and Learn at the training, the ability to show up is something that is so powerful. You're already ahead of the curve if you just show up. And, they don't know me. You've had some pretty big people at Empower, some names that are known. And, for them to fill the room out for me, because I think, maybe a week or before we said, how are we doing? You were like, we have 2 people. And I was like, well, okay, he's going to regret this one.
Right.
But they showed up on both days. It was raining, and they came out. And so it was such a humbling experience. And so for me, my goal was to pour everything out of me so that when they walked away, they were happy that they came. And I hope they were. I believe they were. And so that's what I would love to do. I don't know everything, but what I do know, I really would love to share it.
Okay, so I know that you are getting your businesses running.
Yes.
With systems so they can run without you so you can do more of your speaking.
Yes.
So tell me more about your vision about that. I want you to paint the picture of you speaking around the world or whatever you want to, so crystallize that. Do some dreaming for us right now.
Do some dreaming. So my dream is that, yes, one of my favorites, and I'm so glad and honored that I got to hear him speak, was Zig Ziglar. He's an icon. And, I do not want to be Zig Ziglar, but I do want to be Nekima Horton and the best that I could be. And, my goal is to travel, hopefully, we will see with Empower, Empower series and travel around to as big a stage as possible. But I want also people to know it's not just about the biggest stages, because sometimes it's those smaller, intimate stages that you really get that breakthrough. And I always want to make sure that I'm connecting with those people on small scales to large scales. And so what do I see? Yes, I see myself traveling the world, encouraging people, encouraging communities, encouraging individuals. And it's not those who have just started, but those who have been in it, because I've also found, and it's humbling. I've had phone calls from executives, people I'm thinking, I should be asking you questions, but I also found that sometimes people, when they get to a certain level, they're stagnant. And now they're kind of lost, like, is this all I'm gonna do? Is this all I'm about? And they really yearn to do something else, and they just don't know how to start because they've identified who they are with that position. And so it's been very humbling to also speak to people who are much older than I am, but also who are more successful than me, but they're stuck.
Yeah.
And they say, I don't even know who I am anymore. What I am is an executive. I was speaking with this executive, and he had worked with everyone from Prince to Beyonce. He has plaques all everywhere. And, when we were having lunch, and I said, yeah, but who are you? And he was like, well, I'm, and I was like, no, I know you're a producer. I'm not asking about producing. Tell me about you. What do you enjoy? Who are you? And he couldn't. He said, no one's ever asked me that before. Outside of me being the producer, no one has ever asked me, who am I? And he could not answer it.
So that's the first step of repossessing, right?
It is. Take back who you are. And, people laugh at me, my mom. I will go to the movies by myself. I would get dressed up and I would go to eat. You have to learn to enjoy yourself.
You have to learn to take back the things that make you happy, because if you don't, what makes you think somebody wants to do it with you? So if you don't enjoy your company, what in the world makes you think other people want to? And so that's what's important to me.
So what I'm hearing then, so speaking,
yes,
sounds like consulting.
I love both of those things.
So how do people get in touch with you if they want you to speak at their groups
Sure.
or their companies, or if someone's thinking, hey, I need to, let's have a conversation so you can help me go back through my Repo CHIC process or Repo Men process?
Yes. So one thing I definitely want to say is, you want to reach out to the Empower series, because that's a way to get it for free. Kind of cheat. If you go through if you don't go through the Empower series and you come to me, there is a cost. I am a consultant. This is how I eat, and that's okay. So make sure you always know that you're valuable in the information you have. So they can always go to my website, which is still new, but it's up. Your Executive Concierge, and that's what I am. Under there, you'll see a couple different things that I provide, but my favorite, of course, is the consulting, and it's for profit or nonprofit. But you'll see some other things that I do on there. But it's all about what I can provide to you. I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to provide, executive level services to you, and then we're going to move forward.
All right. Well, I want to tell you thank you for giving us your time, because Dennis Kimbrough said this. He says, we don't know how much time we have left.
Right.
But you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time, that you don't let anybody waste your time.
Absolutely.
And you want to be with someone who's doing something at a time where it makes all the difference in the world. And I know that your time is precious with everything you got on your plate, so I really do appreciate you coming and sharing more of your wisdom with us. I know the Empower series gives free workshops and free lunch and learns. We have speakers that provide their wisdom and stuff. But at the end of the day, if people want to get in touch with you, I'm going to direct them to you if they email me.
Through the Executive Concierge, they can reach out. Everything can be done online. You can set your appointment. Everything is done online, and then we'll reach out to you, and we'll schedule and we'll get going. But I like to say thank you for having me. It's such an honor. You could have asked anyone else to be here on your first podcast. Great job. Great job.
And actually, this is the first one, and we're live on YouTube. However, this is going to be a podcast. And if you're on YouTube right now watching us, you can put in the comments any questions you have. We don't have the ability to answer them now, but going forward, we will. We'll have the iPads here, and we can respond to any questions going live. But please feel free to put your comments. Share this with other people. Let everybody know. When we started this in 2011, we were at UTD in Richardson. And I said, if it's just me and one person, you're going to get it all.
Good to go.
So it's grown. We've been doing this for over 8 years. And I would say when we started doing the YouTube, we now have a global reach. So let's keep going. Let's keep the movement going. We're doing things, and we're touching lives of people that haven't even been born yet, or we're going to be touching lives of people who haven't been born yet.
It's beautiful to think. We used to communicate through a pager. You flip the pager over and you get a message. Right. Now look at us. We're World Wide Web.
We used to communicate through pigeons. Right?
Well, that's you. I want to know that old.
Yeah, right. I'm dating myself. But again, I really do thank you. I want to thank all of you who are watching. Again, thank our sponsors, Andy and Media Group, for putting this on, and like I said, making us look good on social media, as well as Comerica Bank through their charitable foundation and through your loving donations. And if you want to donate, you can donate on our website. There's a donate button. There's an address where you can mail in donations, and you can also text a donation to. I don't know the number right now; it's off my head. I don't want to give you the wrong number, but that'll be put out there somewhere too. But I want to thank you all. Thank you, Nekima, for sharing your time with us and your wisdom. Thank Andy Media Group and everybody. Thank you for watching, and we will be out there again on a weekly basis with a new guest, pouring more into the community. This coming up month is June, and this is Homeownership Month. So in Houston, on the second Saturday of every month, we have a program that's in the Palm Center in collaboration with the Houston Area Urban League. That's on the second Saturday of every month from 10 to 12. And we have Marina Perez with the Bridge Path speaking about the resources available for existing homeowners as well as first-time homeowners. So go to our website, www.empowerseries.com, hit RSVP, and you'll get information about that. And then here in Dallas, we've got a Lunch and Learn on Friday, June 14th. We've got a workshop on Saturday, June 15th. The Lunch and Learn is at the Meadows Conference Center at 11:30. And then we also have a workshop at the Highland Hills Library at 10:30. And we're going to talk about all of the resources available from your city, your county, your state, for people who have homes and they want to repair them, or even people who want to get into a home and they need some assistance with down payment. So don't miss the Empower series. If you can't make it, we will be recording it. But I would ask you to share this with everybody that you know. If you're thinking about getting into a home, or you don't know, you want to get some questions or be better prepared, show up, tell somebody, bring somebody. Don't keep it a secret, because the only way people are going to be blessed from the Empower series is if you let them know.
Absolutely.
All right, so thank you again, and we're signing off. Deuces. Peace.